You know what's funny? People think being a judge in Israel means you just sit under a palm tree all day, giving advice like some peaceful old woman. Ha! If only they knew. I, Deborah, was not just judging quarrels. I was judging nations. Those were dark days in Israel. The Canaanites had us trembling for 20 years. Their commander, Sisera, had 900 iron chariots, and trust me, the sound of those wheels alone could make a grown man shake. People were afraid to walk the main roads. Life was that bad. But me? I refused to hide. Every day I sat under my palm tree between Ramah and Bethel, judging Israel. People came to me with their troubles. Some about land, some about goats, and others about husbands who couldn't fix a tent pole to save their lives. But deep down, I knew my real assignment wasn't about goats or tents. It was about saving a whole nation. Then one day God spoke. And when God speaks to me, trust me, I don't pretend not to hear. Deborah, he said, call Barak son of Abinoam. Tell him I have chosen him to lead 10,000 men to fight Sisera. I will give him victory. So I called Barak. When he arrived, I could tell he was a brave man, just with a little too much caution for my liking. I told him, the Lord has commanded you. Go and fight Sisera. God has gone ahead of you. And do you know what this man said? He looked at me and said, I'll only go if you go with me. I wanted to laugh and cry at the same time. Barak, the warrior, needed me, the judge, to come along. But I didn't blame him. Sometimes courage just needs a little push, or a woman's presence. So I said, fine, I'll go with you. But because of this, the honor of the victory won't go to you. It'll go to a woman. He looked at me like, wait, what woman? Oh, if only he knew. We went to Mount Tabor. 10,000 soldiers gathered, men with trembling hands but fiery eyes. I prayed with them, encouraged them, reminded them who their God was. And then I stood beside Barak as the battle began. When Sisera's army came with all their iron chariots, I could see the fear in our men's eyes. The ground shook. Dust rose like a storm. But I knew something they didn't. God was about to fight for us. Rain began to fall, not soft, romantic rain, angry, heavy rain. The battlefield turned into a muddy mess. The mighty iron chariots. Useless, they sank in the mud. Horses panicked. Soldiers slipped and fell. That's when Barak and his men charged. It was chaos. Glorious chaos. Everywhere you looked, Canaanite soldiers were running for their lives. Sisera himself jumped off his chariot and ran on foot. I didn't need to chase him. I knew someone else had a divine appointment with him. And she did Jael, a quiet, gentle woman living in a tent. When Sisera ran to her for safety, she welcomed him in, gave him milk, and tucked him under a blanket like a child. Then when he fell asleep, boom! She drove a tent peg through his head. If that's not a mic drop moment, I don't know what is. When the news reached us, I smiled. God had kept his word. The honor went to a woman. And not just one, but two of us. After that day, Israel had peace for 40 years. I even wrote a song, yes, a whole victory anthem. It was part worship, part battle rap. We sang about the power of God, the courage of the people, and how blessed the land was when leaders rise and people are willing to fight. Looking back now, I realize courage isn't about swinging swords. It's about standing firm when everyone else hides. It's about listening when God speaks, even when his orders sound impossible. It's about believing that victory isn't always in muscle or weapons, but in obedience. So yes, I, Deborah, was a judge, a prophetess, and a warrior, but above all, I was a woman who said yes when others said not me. And that's why Israel stood again. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.